GM fam. Hope you're doing all right. Happy Tuesday. Is it Taco Tuesday today? I think it is. Get yourself some tacos tonight. Where is today? Wednesday? I don't even know, man. I'll tell you what. It is Tuesday, October 17th. Here we go. Let's get this show rolling. Guys, I dropped a note in the chat group this morning for the Web3 Breakfast Club. As advantageous and as excited I was to start the 8 a.m. news and numbers show. Clearly, we got way too much going on this week, and to add that into the mix was just a little too much. So baby steps, Bob. We are gonna baby step our way into adding more content. As you guys know, I posted yesterday. Had a devil of a time getting the camera to try to record a video for me, and so after several failed attempts and many hours of frustration, I slowed down. I took about 30 seconds to watch a video and figure out that there was an overheat feature that was on the Sony cam, so it wouldn't record for more than 5 minutes. So we got that squared away. Popped into the studio this morning, got that video recorded. So that's the adventure for this afternoon, is to get that thing edited, chopped up, and then the goal is to do a 5 p.m. Eastern video every single day. So that's what we're going to get moving towards. Turbo, let me bring you on up here. And anybody else that wants to come up today, please feel free, guys. As you know, this is Web3 Breakfast. It's a show for the community, by the community. And so, we love everyone to come up here, have their opinion be heard. We just got the one rule: don't be a douchebag, so no racist, sexist, homophobes. Other than that, everybody is welcome to participate here at Web3 Breakfast. So put your thinking caps on. Let's, obviously we're going to get to Chop Shop in a little bit here, and then onto the conversation about Uniswap, adding in the swap fees. Is this the beginning to the end for platforms like that? As decentralized, exchanges go, what's going to happen? It's 0.15% now, but I'm pretty sure that, in a few months, that fee is going to start getting more and more and more and more. And the point of all of this is, I know that we need money to fund growth, but, with decentralized nature and with what Uniswap is, probably one of the best options that we have as far as decentralization goes. Not truly decentralized, obviously. It's the user fees. The user fees should go back to the users at some way, shape, or form. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys have to think. But before we get into that, GM, what's happening, Turbo?
Are you? I think you might be muted. Maybe. Nope. Not saying anything. Can you hear me?
I think I'm back now. Stupid fucking phone. God damn it. Why does Twitter mute itself? What the fuck is up with this thing?
Yeah. I don't know. They're probably doing an upgrade. It's about that season. We're into the new fiscal year, so maybe they got some new updates coming. And they're going to surprise us. They seen what Stars Arena's got going on, and so they're like, you know what? We might as well do that since we have everything to do that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a really good. You bring up SocialFi, right? SoFi, and with Friends Arena or Stars Arena, and then you got Friend Tech, and I'm sure there'll be a plethora more to come. What do you guys think about this kind of stuff? I mean, I love the idea of having a different overhaul to what social media is, but at the same time, I mean, we're just really creating nothing different with these apps, other than now you can tokenize yourself, or you become a security. I think Turbo and I were talking about this the other week when you were here. What's the deal with this? Like, do we become securities if we're trading each other on these social media apps? But we're registered securities, right? Because we have a social security number. So how does that play into a lot of these things? I would love to hear, Matthew's opinion. He's throwing his thumb down, obviously. He's got a hot take on this. But are we securities? Can we tokenize ourselves, and are we securities? Registered securities.
The best part of our conversation, we got Matthew coming up. The best part of our conversation from that was when when we were talking, I was like, yeah, man, well, as long as, you're not telling people, to buy your tickets, for, and then later you'll have, it'll be more valuable to access you, and then your rate will go up. And they were like, yep, that's exactly what it is. And I was like, yeah, that does kind of feel like a security. But, Matthew's the expert, man. What's up, family?
GM guys. Yeah, I think that this is like the first time in history that people have been able to like securitize themselves. I know that Steve over on the Morning with Captain show, it talks about some of the work that he's doing and not wanting to be on Friendtech or even Stars Arena because they don't want to securitize themselves because your likeness and your content is being used to generate an asset that can go up or down in value and can be manipulated and definitely doesn't pass the Howey test or I guess does pass the Howey test from a securities perspective. And Jay, to your point, just because you use your social security number, that does not mean you're a registered securities. You must register securities with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission. But I like what you did there.
Thank you. I mean, we got to get creative, and if we're sticking to rules that are almost 100 years old, I mean, we got to try to have some fun with them, I suppose.
Yeah, Matthew, real quick on question on that, bro. How do, like, at what point do these regulations update? Do you know that? Like, I mean, how do regulations get updated in the SEC in those places?
So it's an interesting question. The Howey test is pretty much what they've used, and I guess it was added to the Securities Act of 1933 and 1934. Again, all these regulations were put in place because investors got totally wrecked in the Great Depression in like the late 20s, early 30s. There was no regulations on securities, no regulations on things that people could go do, if they're going to issue stocks in a company or, basically they were just rugging people left and right. So they put all these regulations in and they haven't changed them because it's done really well over the past basically 100 years. And so now there's kind of this question of, well, what really does this mean from a Howey test perspective, or what are these logistics, and do they still hold muster today? And in order to get changed, I think you'd need to seriously pass a law to get that change, which is going to be super easy to do when you don't have even the House of Representatives, which is in charge of doing a lot of that stuff, actually functioning. So we should probably get a working government first before we start to try to repeal some of these laws.
Yeah, I like that you chose the Turbo coming in a second. I like that you chose mustard. Because we're talking about high level adult things, and you chose a condiment like mustard. We all know, Corey, that like if you were to use ketchup, that's a kid sauce, or ranch is trash. So I'm glad you used mustard. You could have used barbecue sauce. Some of the other adult sauces here in the condiment world, but. Go ahead, Turbo.
No, I was just saying, like that's step one, getting a new government. For those, like haven't taken the time, we like the one day I finally sat down, I was like, man, I really want to understand the Howey test. And so of course I started doing some research. Not really that difficult. The only thing I don't understand, Matthew, is what justifies common enterprise for something that was written almost 100 years ago.
I mean, it's a really good question for those people who are kind of, they hear this test and they're not really sure how it works. Basically, the Howey test took place. It had to deal with like orchards. I can't quite remember how, but it basically orange orchards. And the idea was that if you were able to pass the gates of this test, then whatever that was being offered would be considered a security. So the first one is an investment of money, which is very, very obvious, right? Like we're giving somebody money, right? And that common, you're giving a common enterprise money, whether that's a person, whether that's a business, whether that's an entity, whether an organization, whatever the case is. A common entity means like a thing, an organization that you are sending and investing your money in. And the big piece of this is that you expect to profit from it, right? The reason why nonprofits and charitable donations are not considered securities is because you don't expect to profit from it because you're giving money away. So you're not investing it. And then the fourth piece of this is that the efforts of other people are the result of how you get your money back. So I give my money to a common enterprise expecting a profit, and they put little workers to work, and those workers produce a product or a service. And as a result, people buy that product or service, and the value of the company goes up. So when you look at it from a friend tech perspective, you've got a single individual right? So I'm going to invest my money in a single individual, call it the turbo coin. And that's my common enterprise, is that turbo coin. And I'm expecting to profit from that because he's going to take over the world and the tokens are going to be worth a ton of money, 10, 12, 100x what they are now. And that's going to be derived from the effort of Turbo and his minions or other folks that are working with him, right? So yeah, it's a straight up security.
Just so you know, there is a Turbo coin that you can buy and sell. No affiliation to our Turbo. Just so you guys know. So Matthew, while you are giving great financial advice, we want to make sure. I don't know anything about the current Turbo coin, so this is not financial advice to buy that.
Do not go buy Turbo coin. Although I'm going to look this up right now, though. Because
So the Turbo token is used for this AI tool, and the Turbo token is like what's supposed to be used in the processing. Completely faded that during the big meme hype. I saw it and I was like, I'm gonna buy $100 just because it's my name. And had I had bought $100 when I had that idea, we'd be in the Bahamas right now, family. We'd be in the Bahamas. B-Skeet, what's up, family?
Yo, J Chains, I need you to stop slandering Ranch because Ranch is
Thank
served
you.
at some of the finer restaurants in the United States. Like the tap room serves caviar with ranch and freshly fried potato chips, and it's absolutely bomb. It's absolutely bomb. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
The
Like,
Howie test thing, though. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say bomb is in bad. Bombs are bad.
No,
Ranch is bad.
Bomb is spectacular, dude. No, you just don't understand what is bad about buttermilk, sour cream, and mayonnaise. They're just perfect. The Howie test, one of the things I find fascinating about it is they literally said, so it was an orange grove, and you basically bought an orange tree in the grove. That was what you got. And then they would sell the oranges for you. And the Howie test actually said the oranges are not the security. It is not about the oranges. It's about the contract that allows them to sell the oranges for you. It's that engagement that makes it a security. And that's the part where a lot of the stuff with crypto goes sideways, because the actual coin itself is not a security. It's the contract that you make, the deal you make, that they're going to make money for you. And with most cryptocurrencies, that deal doesn't exist, in my opinion. But what I'm thinking is, instead of tokenizing myself, I'm going to start the B-Skeet DAO, and you will buy shares in the DAO, and you won't actually have like a money-making way. The utility will be, you get to make my life decisions for me. So I'll post decisions several times a day, and you guys will get to vote using your DAO power. You'll be able to decide what I do from moment to moment.
Wouldn't that be something else? Let me ask you guys a question. And this thought occurred to me. Like if the Howie test was based on oranges, and Bitcoin has chosen, its allegiance to the color orange, is that a coincidence?
Bitcoin is gold.
No. Like the color of its logo and everything about Bitcoin is orange.
I don't see orange. I see gold, bro. And who decided that logo, by the way? Like, nobody decided that logo. I could have a white Bitcoin logo. It's the exact same logo.
So that's a good point.
Nope.
Who did decide the logo? Was it Satoshi, or was it like Satoshi's like graphic design team?
It was his last dying wish, bro, before he got captured in the van and taken to the island of Asgard. He decided that orange should be the color.
Nice. There was one time. Oh, go ahead.
We should make a children's book about like the legend and lore of Satoshi Nakamoto, and like it should be like he should seriously get captured and like around the wall, like the ice wall. Like you could have all these players in there from the Web3 Breakfast as your team.
You're giving away trade secrets now. Everybody just forget the last 30 seconds of your life. Go ahead, Bisky.
I was just about to say the same thing. Because we could put just a little bit of like Bitcoin at the end of it. And at the end of the book, you scan a QR code, you get like 0.0001 of Bitcoin for the kids. What up?
And by the time they graduate college, they'll be able to get it.
A pack of gum. Bisky, you were saying something a second ago, and then let's swing it over to AI Love.
It's Satoshi Nakamoto, and he saved us with his Bitcoin. This is what I've learned from Congress.
You know what's funny is that, and I know that I know that we just love to make fun of Brad Sherman, and he is just a weasel. I unfortunately have the the maybe the brain condition where I will be speaking, and I think I might even said it at UCLA where I will call Bitcoin Bitcoin. And I know that it's been the joke for a while. Like, I mean, when I first got into the space, there were, I forget who it was. It was like Moby and a bunch of other people. They were doing a podcast called Around the Corn, and it was about Bitcoin, and everybody always called it Bitcoin. And I tell you what, like sometimes it's just, you guys know me. Sometimes the way things get into the brain, there's just no help, no saving me. And so I sometimes will call it Bitcoin, just mistakenly. But we just roll with it. Like I will never correct myself if I call it the corn, because at the end of the day, well, I love corn and I love Bitcoin. Go ahead, ALF.
Well, great day to you all. I hope you are having a beautiful day. I just want to say me and Turbo are outside, and as a revitalized Southerner, I'm cold as I don't know what. I'm freezing my balls off here. So I just wanted to give you warm welcomes this morning. GMGM.
GM. It was a chilly one down here in North Georgia this morning. I don't know if we had a window open in the house. Now, obviously, it was great sleeping weather, but when you get out of the shower, it was a little chilly. And we talked about this last week. When you sit on the toilet on a cold morning, when you're the first one to sit on the toilet on the cold morning, that'll gives you an indication of what the temperature outside is. Our house was down to like 62 degrees, I think, and I'm just ready for some cuddly sweatshirts. So I got my D Gods hoodie on today, trying to stay warm. Beastie, what you got?
For AI love, the one I like to use for the season is colder than a witch's tit in a snowman's mouth.
Oh man, I'm about to turn into a snowman around here. It's gonna be called AI Love the Snowman. Freaking my nose gonna have a carrot on it, my eyes gonna turn into coal, and I'm gonna have a grumpy face because I'm freezing.
Okay, we're gonna have to call you a kid called AI-sicle.
AI-sicle. I like that. There we go. Fast on the feet. I'm a little just laggy this morning, man, because we were, Turbo is one hard gentleman to keep up with. Let me just tell you, man, and the level of work that he puts in and the mastery of his craft is unparalleled. And it's crazy because my uncle does construction down in North Carolina. He owns a construction company, and I sent him a video. I sent him a video over of Turbo, and he said, "Well, that brother knows what he's doing." I said, "Well, why you say that?" He said, "Because that ain't no tool that anybody's just gonna, carry around with him. That's something that only an experienced builder is gonna have." And I was like, "Well, yeah, he's pretty good at his craft, man." So it's just enjoying the time that I'm able to spend with my brother here. And the connection. He was saying, "Is weird? Is it weird that we met on the internet?" I'm like, "Dude, they got whole dating apps where people meet on the internet and meet up with each other." So I don't think that by any means this is weird at all. It's like when forms of communications are exerted, relationships are developed, and bonds are made. So that's just how it happens. And it's amazing that I have an opportunity, and he has an opportunity to work with each other, do business with each other, and then also help each other along the way, man. And that's what this thing is really about. When we talk about, what can we do here in Web3 and what's the capabilities? Well, this relationship was established on a common ground and a common interest of crypto. And look how it's fostered into the real world. Now, this is just a small interaction and transaction, but what happens when we multiply this? Like, with the efforts that's going on with Chain Labs and what you guys are putting together, man, it's just colossal. So I'm just really excited about the future, man, and ready to get the day started and knock out more activities.
Heck yeah, man. No, I love that. That's a really important point to bring up, right? And we always talk about the importance of going to these Web3 events and linking up with people, because that's how we all, for the most part, that's how we all just kind of, get a first introduction, a first touch point with each other. And it really starts the relationship bond, right? We talk about, the networking and the relationships being our one of our currencies. And, I think a lot of us here, and I would say that, by having these conversations, a lot of us here really value the relationship currency more than, maybe the money currency to some extent, right? And I love that you bring that up, I love, because as we start to, really see the activity ramp up in our ecosystem, we have more opportunities to get out in the real world, in the real life, and start to connect with more people and build these relationships and build these, companies, ideas, all this stuff. Because literally, this ecosystem is being built from the ground up, and the more relationships that we can foster and develop and grow by just being present and being out in the real world, think of how that's going to transform this whole society, this whole ecosystem. I guess the whole society too, right? Because eventually the world is going digital, and they will be forced. And I don't say that like it's not like a threat or anything, but they will be forced to adapt to blockchain technology, because that's just the way that it's working, right? Like at some point, it's going to be a react and adapt, or face extinction as far as some of these companies and corporations go. So let's go get some hands. Modern Canadian, let me follow you back really quick. You can go first, and then we're going to swing it back to AI Sickle.
GM, how's everybody today?
And we're doing it. Are you guys frosty up there in Canada, eh?
Oh,
Yeah, I am sweatered up and all warm. Yes, that's for sure. Got to bundle up. Yeah, I actually just got my my access pass for that big time Web3 game yesterday. Started dabbling with it. Pretty good. Honestly, the best Web3 game I've played thus far.
Oh, what is it? So what's the name of the game?
It's called Big Time. It's like a MMORPG, if anybody's familiar.
Yeah, that was the one we had access to, Jay. The one we got from Chris.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, definitely a good one to check out. But yeah, I was watching some streamers yesterday, and that's how you get some of the ambassadors. You get access codes, so I got one and dabbling with it, and looking forward to making some content with it, because I've been gaming my whole life.
Nice.
Yo, Modern, I found a pair of boots on my journey in that game, and then I had an opportunity to sell them, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I sold these boots, and they sold for like 360,000 coins in the game, and then I quit playing it after that.
Holy cow! There's I think it's like 23 cents US right now per Big Time coin.
Can I ask a question? And please don't laugh. I mean, you guys are actually, please laugh. You're more than welcome to laugh. At one point, I was learning all of these, code names and stuff for your video game stuff. RPG, I understand, is a role-playing game. MMO, that's the one that I always screw up. It's like a massive online.
MMO is massive, massive multiplayer online RPG role-playing.
Okay, thank you. Sometimes, we just need a little help navigating these. It's like when Turbo and Ardo start talking about their military stuff, and they speak in code. It's like, can't just explain like I'm five. Appreciate the the update there. Issues, what you got for us, fam?
Nothing much. I just wanted to come up and say, GM, I got in here kind of late, so I didn't know what you guys were really talking about. I see the Uniswap thing up there, but dealing with some fucking douchebag inspector today. I don't know if you guys are ever contractors, or whatever. Come out here telling me how to do something that he has no idea of how to do. And you know what I mean? Like, we live in Florida, bro. It's the water. We live in the swamp. I got to push the water out to fill the dirt in. He's over here trying to tell him. I don't know what to tell the guy. I don't know what to fucking tell the guy. I talked to him, I was like, get out of here, man.
I have a little bit of experience with the inspectors, and those there's several positions that people, I think, take on in life because they know that it's just their way to push people around for no reason, and I feel like building inspectors are one of those.
It's funny because I was talking to AI Love last night as we were riding back from Pontiac, and I was telling him, I was like, man, the thing with my soldiers that was kind of messed up was how hard I was on them, right? Kind of almost to the point of bullying. I mean, it was probably a little bit more, right? But that's how we were raised, right? And that was the culture. And I think a lot of these jobs, they have that culture internally where they feel this this duty, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't find something wrong, it's it's almost goes against yourself as an inspector. Because I've talked to a lot of those guys, man. They are the freaking worst, man. It's like, yo, just tell me, like, what, like, if this isn't right, then what is, you know? And so I think it's a culture thing, man, you know, that people just, they believe that that's how it's supposed to be. And then no one questions it, right? Because that's how it's always been. And so if you guys, there's a really cool psychology video about that, where they did this experiment with 5 monkeys. They put them in a cage. And if the monkeys went up the ladder and got the food, then they would hose all the other monkeys with cold water. And so what ended up happening is any monkey that would go up that ladder, all the monkeys would beat that monkey up for going up the ladder, to where none of the monkeys would go up the ladder to get the food. So then they took one out, put a new monkey in, and of course he goes and gets the food, those monkeys beat. What ends up happening in the experiment is they have 5 monkeys in that cage that had never been doused with ice water, but none of them will go up the ladder to get the food, and if anyone does, they'll beat them up. And it goes back to the thing, just because that's how it's always been done. So it goes to the changes that we need to make into this world.
So I love that. Don't get beat up. Don't climb the ladder and get the food and get beat up. Hey, what you got for us?
No, go get the food. Quit beating people up.
Quit beating people up. There you go.
Yeah, emerging markets, man. Don't miss your target. It's an emerging market. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, what are you worried about? You know, what are you focusing? You scared of a little competition? What's competition? I don't see competition. I see camaraderie. I see people that are, you know, in a place that are very highly intellectual because you're even engaged in the environment. Just think about how many people are on the outside and don't have enough or don't take enough time to research and investigate the things that are going on, the changes that are about to occur. You know, so when you're engaging here, whether it's community building, whether it's doing a project, being a creator, just hold on to that. You know, that's something powerful. And think about how you can use this to empower what it is that you're looking to do, the goals you're looking to accomplish. You know, reach out to people. You know, if you don't know something, say something. That's the thing with Web3. It's not working for Walmart. This is working for ourselves. This is working for the brand of the individual and the collective. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby. Speaking of let's go and baby, it's time to get that workout in. You know, oh.
Wait.
I know.
Wait.
I know.
Wait.
I saw it like right as it was coming out of my mouth. I saw what was happening. There he is. There's Coach. Thanks, Coach. Time to get those workouts in, boys and girls. What you got, Turbo?
I got this new workout for AI Love to do. So we're gonna do 1 push-up, and then do you know what like a jack is from the push-up position, like where you kick your feet out and you jump your feet out like a jumping jack, and then you bring your feet back in. Then you do 2 push-ups, then 2 jumping jacks, then 3 push-ups, 3 jumping jacks. So we're gonna see how many we can get.
Okay, I like this. I like where this is going. I'm just going to, just do some normal push-ups. I got to bring, you know what, I forgot. I walked into my old office at my house today to bring the dumbbells into the studio, and then something grabbed my attention, and I left the house without them. So I'm just going to do some more push-ups today, but at one of these days, I'm going to bring those dumbbells to the new studio just so I got them here. But today is not that day. All right. Guys, remember, we like to say that, we do these midway point workouts because we want to have healthy minds, healthy bodies, and healthy portfolios. And so if you got the opportunity, now's your time to get up. You got to get the heart rate going, get that blood pumping. Let's get a little bit of a workout in. This is a friend of the show. This is the homie. 74K. Let's go, baby. Get your blood pumping. Golly.
I got eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Web3 Breakfast, Jay Chains is the host. Good morning. What's up, Jay Chains? Turbo made it co-hosting. Yeah, they do their thing. If you savvy Web3 GM, grab a plate and a seat. Let's begin. If you got something to say, come and grab a mic. We got one rule, no douchebag. Alright? Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start to talk, you gon' stay to the end. Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start to talk, you gon' stay to the end. Monday through Friday, we got the Suro. 10 a.m. Eastern Spaces with the purpose. All about the community focus, they deserve it. Come and speak your mind with no regrets, but you serve us. Pizza on Friday, work it off midway. Get the blood pumping, Web3 music is thumping. I got eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Eggs, bacon, waffles, toast. Web3 Breakfast, Jay Chains bring some friends. If you start to talk, you gon' stay to the end. Retweet the room, bring some friends. If you start to talk, you gon' stay to the end. Good morning.
Good morning is right. Good freaking morning. Guys, I hope we got a little bit of a workout in there. Got that blood pumping. This is Web3 Breakfast, a show for the community, by the community. Make sure that go down to the bottom right corner, hit that purple pill, retweet the space out. Let's get some more friends in here, and let's have a show. All right, the second half, guys, we're going to get into our topic, talking about some news that came out yesterday with Uniswap. Uniswap adding swap fee 0.15%. Is this the beginning to the end? Is this necessary? Obviously, we need money to fund, the operation and to scale and to grow. But at what point does that encroach into decentralization? I want to know what you think.
Well, I mean, with the new, with the not as much money flowing through the market, I mean, they're not getting as much money, on the other side from transactions. So, I think it's okay. I think it's fair. They have to run a company as long as we continue to see them grow. But I'm definitely excited to see what others think.
There you go. Lo, what you
got? I mean, I see where you're coming from, but not at the same time, right? Because they've made a shit ton of money during the bull. Dude, if there's a problem, if there's an increase in transaction, and reason why we have decentralization is because we can vote with our wallets, so we don't have to use those platforms if it's too much of a burden on us, on the consumer, right? And I like to say this for a lot of the centralized entities that are building up or have built themselves up and feel like you're untouchable. You're not, and do not take the now for forever. Every day is a constant grind. You got to constantly be listening to and knowing your customer. And if you don't listen to and know and listen to the demands of your customers, you're going to lose them, period.
That's a fact. Absolutely. Now, I know that when the news came out, and unfortunately, I got to get things squared away a little bit because I don't have the computer here in the studio because it's at my desk and whatever. So pulling up articles is not possible right now. But we'll get this thing squared away soon here. But I know, when I was looking at this whole thing in the headlines yesterday, it's obviously a mixed emotion. The crypto community is upset, but a lot of like Turbo was saying, like a lot of business people like totally understand that you need money to fund an operation. So this is I wouldn't say that it's really tearing the community apart because like you said, we all have options. There are other choices besides Uniswap, and I think this just could this be the beginning to we're all just kind of awakening up to the fact that there are other options as far as crypto goes to do what we need to do in a much cheaper fashion. We've been talking about this a lot lately. On Algo, you can do 10,500 transactions with $1, right? You can not even do one with Ethereum. And so, with that being said, maybe at some point people will find other options than Uniswap. You figure out a way to wrap your ETH and just go somewhere else with it. And in Uniswap, and it's not because of a 0.15% fee, but I think that we can see the future, the potential of this to get higher and higher and higher. The more money they start making, I think the greedier people get. That's I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's just what we see happen in some other realms. Let's go L, and then issues, and then AI. Get some hands.
Yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world. Sorry, and if you, I've got the article up here, so let me know if you need any reference, brother. But I don't think it's the end of the world. I mean, 0.15%. You have PancakeSwap, you have SushiSwap, you have so many other different opportunities to leverage these, other swaps if you want to. I just think, it's just the way that this ecosystem works. One little change, everybody, starts throwing things out of the pram. They start crying and acting like the world's going to end. And I mean, 0.15%, man, it's just the market, right? Everything's down. My grandmother can't afford half the shit she wants to buy anymore. She's asking me for money. My mom can't afford rent. The market's fucking down. And now everybody wants to cry over 0.15% swap. I mean, if it's just the fact that it's on Ethereum, like you look at the gas fees and then you look at the swap fees and it all adds together and it hurts you a little bit. But I don't really think it's that much of a change that's going to really affect anybody. I think they'll forget about it by the end of this week.
Good point, Al. If there's one thing that we know about our industry and ecosystem is that we've all got the attention span of a chipmunk, and the next fancy, shiny, fun, terrible thing to come by, this will be yesterday's news.
I mean, we all do fucking drugs as well. By the time everybody's had their fourth blunt tonight, we'll be arguing about something else.
That's a fact. I love that. Oh man, you got me with the laugh. Issues, what you got for us, fam?
No, 100%. That was funny. I love you, dude. But yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal, really. I mean, it isn't. You know, everybody wants DeFi to be DeFi, right? But we all realize that Uniswap is kind of centralized, right? I mean, we do get that, and the government's token is probably owned by a couple whales where they manipulate what goes on in the chain. You know what I'm saying? So they need to pay their employees is what's going on, or pay and keep their operation funded and keep going.
What kind? And forgive my naivety here, and this is something that I've never even looked into. But what's the employee roster look like at Uniswap? I mean, obviously you've got to have, maybe you have like, you know, your traditional, you got marketing, you've got, you know, your C-suite. I don't even know. What does the organization at Uniswap look like in order to justify salaries for what should have just been a decentralized, I feel like it should just be a couple dudes or a couple people, it could be women included as well, a couple people coming together, just slapping a, exchange up on there and let's go.
There's actually, at the moment, there's 13 core contributors and 48 engineers employed at Uniswap currently.
So
big bag.
A little bit of bloat.
Yeah, it's big bags, definitely big bags, but it's poor marketing, right? Or it's poor explanation of the technology, its importance, it's poor exhibiting of actual. Look, go do me a favor. You want to talk about increasing fees. Why should we increase the fees for you? Go search Uniswap and see what the images are that you get. Only thing you're getting is the logos. You're not getting any sort of IRL interaction, no sort of kickback and support from the ecosystem. They lack in fit. This is where so many projects, protocols, tell everybody, it applies to everybody. We're moving forward with the new technology. Let's use it, a new tool. Let's use it in the right fashion. Let's endorse the things and let's make an impact. And once you make an impact, then when you ask for certain things, no one is appalled because you've actually contributed. I mean, yes, the engineers cost money, but if you are able to utilize this technology and this tool to the community's benefit, to where people are reciprocating, people's brands are being built, the awareness of individuals inside of the ecosystem is being seen, then you're talking turkey. You know what I'm saying? Now we're cooking with grease, but right now I'm just laughing. Ha. That's what you get. You're in the middle of a bull market. You're pumping all this crap, and now you need more money. No, go use another swap. That's what I would tell everybody. No, why should we continue to endorse these entities that don't do anything back in reciprocation to us? And then they're getting VC funding. So if you're a corporation, if you're established, and it's your job to actually now act like a corporation. And you want to talk about an entity being standalone when it comes to the swap, but what are you talking about as far as the business side? You're registered. There's a lot of things you can do as an entity. So where's your engagement at? It's up to you to take that up.
Do you think that there was any future plan and, to maybe reward the users, right? Because at the end of the day, on a decentralized exchange, the fees come from the users, right? And if they're not, collecting money any other way besides, I get the VC and all that stuff, but, these swap fees and stuff, is there any future where, some of that goes back to the users? So depending on how much you use it, you get, your certain percentage back. You get a couple bucks back, whatever it might be. Like we've seen a lot of NFT platforms start to, reward or incentivize users for using that platform with just a little bit of juice.
Is this going to become the new model across the board?
I think tokenization
because for ages.
Go ahead.
Oh God, I'm sorry, Jay.
No,
I was going to say because for ages, a company, comes out and then they charge the consumer, and we go like Nike didn't give me anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get nothing from wearing Nikes. I don't get nothing from any of these traditional, like, Web2 companies that we look at. I mean, yeah, they do some reward points and things like that, which is something that is coming. But, I mean, I think the expectation of expecting, companies to give back when money is being collected. I mean, what we get is the opportunity to use their technology and their platform. And if it doesn't meet the standard, that we're looking to use, then we should be using something else or creating whatever that platform should be. I also just wanted to say real quick too, I couldn't find out how long chipmunks' time attention spans were, but they can collect 165 acorns in a day, and that seems pretty damn productive. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my chipmunks out there.
Shout out to all you chipmunks out there. Matthew, and then let's go. Matthew and then Biscuit. Sorry.
I was just going to say, I think, there's this notion that people feel entitled to like the profits of other companies, which is kind of ridiculous in some sense. Uber, Turbo's like, oh, Nike doesn't give you anything except that they gave you this amazing shoe that you get to parade around and get a whole bunch of social points from your friends. And if you did want actual returns from them, you should buy their stock, which is a registered security. So like when we talk about like the need to go get stuff back from people, like it would be nice if they gave you rewards, but I don't see why they necessarily need to. And if you think about something in recent history of a token that did something just like that, look no further than our friends at FTX that had an FTT token that was supposed to give you a third of the money that they made from their exchange. So, you've got all these companies that can barely keep their hat on. They're decentralized. We don't know anything about them. And now we're expecting them to like give us some cut of what they're trying to make. That absolutely makes them a security if that's the case of what they're going to be doing.
So do you think, go ahead, Lo.
I'm just saying, register. It's like I don't get it. I don't get what's the big hoo-ha. Like why is this?
Well,
like,
one, they're not in the United States, and two, it's a whole legal regulatory hurdle. It's very expensive, and it's compliancy. The stuff you have to do to stay compliant. It's like a huge headache. It's like, why bother if you can make money without it?
Well, the why bother part, so you don't go to jail.
There's a lot of things, dude, that you can make money without paying, but bro, without playing by the rules, man. That ain't how this world works. I think the rules are in place for a reason. So it's like, until we're able to reconstruct, which I mean, that's, that's a big mountain to climb, right? Like that's something that they're in control of. But in the meantime and in between time, just do the right thing. I had to sit back and evaluate myself and my role in a lot of these projects because I need to detach. Because if I don't detach, then this can be misconstrued in the wrong shape, form, and fashion, right? And so innately, I have to. My conduct is a lot different. I won't accept and deal with certain projects if it's talking about monetization. It's more me just assisting, right? Like I'm not looking to get paid off of it or being endorsed in any of that shape, form, and fashion, because that could put me in a bad situation. So I have to do the right thing. So when it comes to these projects and these protocols, and whether you're in the United States or not, at least seek compliance so that if it does get down to it, you're not just ruining something that we're building up. And I think that that's where a lot of these projects and founders and stuff, they fall short.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in there?
Hang on one second. I agree with you, but there are no regulations. So how are they supposed to comply? Right? There's no way, there's no roadmap of saying that this is what you need to do because the government hasn't made that step. So it's kind of, I'm with you, like I want them to do that, but there's no way to do that without
comparative and contrast is what I would say, Matthew. Like if there's something that's already in correlation with what you're attempting to do, then at least put together a body and a framework so that when these issues do become prevalent, you can, one, make the effort and attempt, present that to legislators to say, hey, if you look and you analyze, this is how it's done. This is why we do it over here, because they do not understand the technology or they don't see it and they can't interpret it because we make everything so goddamn technical in this space. And it kills me, right? Because this space is unlike any other because it combines from different areas, right? And there's different artistries and there's collaborative measures that's never been done before. So it's harder to explain this to people who are accustomed to certain ways of doing business. But if you can give comparing and contrasting, it makes it a little bit easier.
There you go. I like that. Bisky, what you got for us? And then we're going to go Rodney and then L.
Couple things, actually. One, J-Chains, when you're talking about like a site like Uniswap charging a fee, and then why can't they give some of that fee back to the people using the exchange? Then what's the point of the fee? Like that's when people are giving you a reward for using their protocol, they're just trying to get you on it so you can actually give them more money. That is a total Ponzi. When someone's like, hey, I'm going to give you this and then I'll reward you for using it, in the end, they're going to make money off of you using it more than they're going to give back to you, or what's the point? So that's my take there. And then for AI, real quick, the two words that I would say are the point for why do we not necessarily want compliance in that sense. It's accredited investor. Like the whole point of crypto for me personally is that I can get into crypto with 10 cents, $10, $100, $1,000, $1 million, and I can jump in and do what I want to do. Whereas the SEC very much wants to control who gets to invest, when they get to invest, how they get to invest. All of those things are part of this system. And that is something that I don't want. I want regulation, but what I don't want is regulation that's brought by people who are seeking to keep some people out and reward the people who are already in control.
Fuck the gatekeepers is what we like to say. Rodney, what you got for us? GM, by the way.
Yeah. So, what's up, Jay Chains? How you doing?
Good,
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So obviously, as a meme coin guy, I've been using Uniswap since the dawn of time, and over the last year, even though it's been a bear market, it's good to see like the developers working on the actual protocol because it is the most used decentralized exchange, at least on the Ethereum network. One of the biggest, right? And with their V3, they added integration for the BNB chain. So, and the interface looks way better. So I see the devs grinding. I see them trying to make it happen. And honestly, what is it? 0.15 for a swap fee is nothing.
Right.
Now, I could see how it could get a little tricky with some meme coins because some meme coins or just small cap tokens in general do hike up the taxes, but their fee is really negligible. And the thing about Uniswap is that if you try to get all these rules and regulations pushed over there, because they've had lawsuits come out of the United States pretty much telling them that they're letting anyone and everyone launch on their platform, which is true because it's decentralization. You know what I mean? Like you just can't KYC every single body or you will destroy Uniswap. I think the fees are negligible. I think it's a good, dApp. It's one of the best dApps. And I think it's only going to get better now that they're offering BNB services, like taking out people like PancakeSwap and stuff like that. So the fees are fine.
Yeah. No. So let me ask you a question. And that brings up a really good point because I think by 2024, every exchange is supposed to have mandatory KYC. Do you think that we will see that on these centralized, decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, PancakeSwap?
Need it.
Yeah, so DEXs, no, because if you do that, then you will destroy it, and then it's a centralized exchange pretty much. I mean, it's not centralized in that sense, but you get it. Like, and if anything, what I think is that it could be like banned in some states or some countries and states that don't allow that, and you'd have to access it with a VPN. But I think you would absolutely destroy any decentralized exchange trying to KYC people, because the truth is there's a lot of malicious people out there who are launching shitcoin rug pools. If you look on Dex Tools live new pairs, every 10 minutes there's a rug pool made. But people like that degeneracy, like I don't see how you get rid of that without getting rid of like the core value of DeFi.
No, I totally believe that and agree with you there. And I think there should be an opportunity for for the degens to have the casino, but also mitigate the risk of the scams, the rug pulls, the honeypots, all that stuff that come out. And so that's where the true protection needs to be. Not where the SEC comes out and basically ruins retail. Like they need to find a way to actually protect retail by avoiding these scams, these rug pulls, honeypots from even entering the marketplace in the first place.
Yeah, I agree. And I think probably the best way, and I think the only way you could do that without making everyone dox themselves and stuff, is making sure there's some sort of like legit contract reader that can actually, because when these contracts are like, they're launched, like it takes a while for these contract readers to actually read them. And by that time, it's too late. So maybe some sort of partnership with some sort of contract, I don't know, like Token Sniff or whatever, to make sure that at least it's not a like malicious contract or something like that. That's a honeypot. So that's a tough issue to solve, man.
We'll get there. As our ecosystem matures and grows, obviously we'll find the right things that work for everybody on a protection and on a privacy or freedom level as well. We'll get there.
Yeah, and I think Rodney hit like a really good point too on the small market cap tokens. Because like it will make it harder on that to exchange them with those fees. Like I could definitely see that, and I think that just one of the things I think that'll help too is education. I'm going to throw that in there. But L, what's up, family? The biggest influencer on Cardano. What's up?
Yo, hey, Turbo, you know what? Don't you start your stuff. You know who the biggest influencer is.
It's me. But the SEC won't let me be. The SEC, they won't let me be AI. You know what I mean? They want to watch everything. But in terms of a Uniswap, I just 0.15. Then we go to SushiSwap 0.3, so double, and then we look at PancakeSwap is 0.17, and also 0.25 on a majority of fees. So then we can talk about, the way that they redistribute those fees. Some of them go back into the liquidity pool, so you can, measure that however you want. But Uniswap, even with the increase of fees, still has actually the lowest fees out of the two competitors, especially SushiSwap having double pretty much the fees of Uniswap, even with the increase. So, it's people can sit here and cry about Uniswap. Tell them, oh, go use SushiSwap. Have fun with your 0.3% on that. Go have fun. Merry Christmas. But again, as well, with in regards to DEXs and KYC, I just think it's going to be it's just going to ruin the ecosystem, to be honest with you. And the reason I say that is that, we talk about malicious users, and mostly on Cardano, and I'm not sure if it's the same on Ethereum. They don't give a fuck about the DEX. They're leveraging the CLI. They know what's going on in the liquidity pools before they hit the DEXs. Most people who are equipped to maliciously attack, pools and leverage the blockchain the way they want to, they don't give a fuck about your DEXs. So the majority of users on DEXs are just genuinely average humans who are just trying to fucking get rich in a week. It ain't gonna happen, but God bless them. And the nefarious users are using CLIs and leveraging the fuck out of the blockchain. So KYC, suck my dick.
There you go.
It's not gonna happen.
Got him.
You guys and gals must have slipped bumped your mother effing heads if you think that the $1 trillion company like BlackRock is gonna come into our ecosystem and dump trillions of dollars into look at the blockchain. So you think they're gonna let you freebie willy-nilly? You must be silly. You must have slipped and bumped your head. They're gonna let you extract their money? Come on, man. Get up out of here. This is what I try to tell people. Look, there's going to be layers like Midnight Coin. If you token, shout out Cardano and the innovation that they got. If you want to keep your privacy and interact and things of that nature, which I believe in. I believe in being able to have anonymity in your business decisions. However, I am not advocating for any reason at all that anybody that's using or operating blockchain technology be free to roam without an identity. Are you crazy? My grandma's gonna be using this. She be answering calls from scammers. Hell no. No. Register that shit on the blockchain. Let's move forward. Let's act responsible, and let's drop this fucking rummy dumb narrative, man. We got incredible things to do here.
I believe that. Rodney, what you got for us, man?
Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's an interesting point because obviously all the big money managers are getting into the form of like Bitcoin. And like Bitcoin, even though Gary he doesn't want to specify if it's a commodity. He says it's not a security, but he don't knows if it's that guy's fucking weird, by the way. All these big money managers want to get into the market through the form of Bitcoin for now, and then maybe other things later. Even Ethereum's a little up in the air, but all the issues that has come out of DeFi, the major catastrophes, is because of a centralization issue. Mm-hmm. Like you have these fucking weirdos who run these big companies like FTX and Voyager, Celsius, Terra Luna, who get greedy and do some wild shit, and they're over leveraged. And when money comes out of the cryptocurrency market, they get called on everything and they wreck a bunch of people. So I think that's going to scare people more. And I think it's always a centralization issue. I think we see these small little scam rug pulls happen day to day, and I don't think that's the biggest deal. And I think that that's just part of a place and a technology that's new, right? It's going to be used to quote unquote fund Hamas terrorists and shit like that. Like things are going to happen like that. But Bitcoin is decentralized. It is an anonymity. That's what it's supposed to be. So I think you could have Uniswap and still have big people come into the cryptocurrency world. And like BlackRock and stuff to the form of Bitcoin.
Yeah, no. Listen, we all see where this is going, right? And when you talk about Bitcoin being the digital store of value, the digital gold, right? Matthew, you bring up the point yesterday about Lightning. To me, it's still like, what are you going to put a Ferrari engine in a Model T? No, it's just not going to work. But we can agree that it's the store of value, and it will always be that. But something else will come and be the currency, the transactional currency, not just I've got this light bag of digital gold, and I'd like to swap it out for something that you've got, if that makes sense.
Man, I know this isn't like exactly on the Uniswap trading fees, but I just want to say this, man. I don't care about following the rules, right? I just want to know what the rules are. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I'm the first one to say, you know what I'm saying, if you're going 1 mile per hour over the speed limit, you should get a ticket.
Nope.
That's the law. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Rules are rules. You know what I'm
Nope.
saying? There aren't rules that can be broken. You know what I'm saying? Because if the shit can be broken, then we shouldn't be following the damn rule in the first place. We should make it to what, you know, because rules are put in place to protect us and to give us guidelines and to ensure that we're all going in the same place, in the same direction, in a safe manner. You know what I'm saying? And so if 51 is fine, then make the damn speed limit 51. Don't make it 50 and allow people to speed. Set the precedents that we want to have. These are the rules. This is how we operate, and then everybody follows within inside of those guidelines. You know what I mean? And I don't mind because then these little fees wouldn't be a big deal because we would see more adoption. We would see the people. We would have more money circulating because people are like, oh shit, because people need structure. Period. Sorry. L, go ahead.
No, you're good. Really quick, I do want to let everybody know that is listening. First off, thank you for being here. We're getting down to the short strokes here for today's show. But Turbo, you know, his example was if it's 51, make the speed limit 51 instead of 50. In that same speed limit zone, if it is marked as a 50-mile-an-hour zone, Turbo is cruising along at 45, and that's a fact.
Well, that's only because I'm high.
No, you don't drive like that. We know that.
I know, you know that's right. Man, that's the worst part about him telling people too. Like, hey, man, I don't drive high.
He's not
hey,
even high. He's driving slower than the speed
Follow
limit.
the rules.
You don't drive high. I'm like, man, you're weird. Fuck that. I'm rolling, smoking all the goddamn time. If I crash, I crash. That's my ass. I remember one time.
I just remember everybody always saying, I drive better high. Like, okay. Good for you.
I know that's a lie. I ain't gonna say that, but I do drive slow.
I think we're parked, man.
I'm like Turbo. I'm driving slow as hell. I don't want to hit nothing. I'm moving like I'm walking on glass.
Oh, that's funny. Let's get a couple hands before we head on iron for the day. Let's go L and then be Skeet.
You motherfuckers say way too much in recorded spaces. AI going to jail, Turbo going to jail. It was a pleasure knowing you guys. It was a pleasure knowing you guys. I hope it's warm in that jail. You know, you need to cuddle up with somebody. You gotta do what you gotta do. But fuck the rules. You know, firstly, the US ain't even gonna fucking rule. Yo, AI, this is my time, AI. Don't make me report you. We got a recording now. But yo, the US, we talked about it last week. Is just a manipulation tactic. If you don't set any rules, nobody knows what to follow. Everything illegal. That's what they do on purpose. But I will say, Turbo, fuck you with the rules on the road, because just every road in the UK there was a 30. They just changed that shit to a 20. Fuck no, am I doing 20 in a road that used to be a 30? I'm doing fucking 40, and they can suck my dick.
Hey, coming in hot. Jeepers creepers.
You're going to jail now. You talking about me going to jail?
You're in now. We'll save you a seat.
Bro, good. If they lock me up, I won't be wasting my money on these fees on Uniswap. You know, save my fucking ADA, save my fucking Ethan, save my BB.
I've always said, if you guys and Beasky, we're gonna get to your hand really quick here. I've always said, if you want to get wealthy with crypto, this is what you do. You buy a bag, you commit a crime, you get locked up, you come back 5 years later, and you're rich as hell. Beasky, what you got for us?
I just want to say, Turbo, this is America, and part of what America is founded on is whatever they make that speed limit. If they make it 51, then we're going to want to go 56. If we make it 56, there will be people who want to go 61. That's kind of the point of what we've created here, is that people will always push the boundaries, and we want that. We don't want a stagnant place where we set rules and everyone follows it. We actually want people to push those rules and try to break them. And yeah, sometimes you're going to get punished for breaking those rules, but sometimes you're going to set a new paradigm, and we're going to have to readjust those rules because their way of doing things.
Nope.
That's true.
There you go.
No, that's what
hey, rules.
Just rules.
Rules were meant to be broken. Sometimes you got to push the boundaries. Don't get yourself in trouble, though. Hey, I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much. If you came up on stage and chatted today, I love you. If you sat in the crowd, I love you. This is Web3 Breakfast, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. So be ready. Set a reminder. We'll put some links out today. We got a couple shows going out throughout the day. We obviously got Crypto Crossfire at 4 p.m. And then hopefully, if I can get that damn thing edited, we'll have a What the Fuck is Web3 video coming out at 5 p.m. Eastern. So have yourself a day. As you guys saw the tweet that I put out yesterday, I had a shitty day, but I'm using that as motivation to make myself better today. And I hope that you guys make yourself better today too. Adios, amigos. We'll see you tomorrow.